UNM Law School has a special place in our family because my grandpa was in the first graduating class in 1950 and my mom graduated in 1986. The first I remembered her being a lawyer was actually when I was 6. She would bring me to the firm and she would lay out a nice little mat for us, and we would be able to sleep off our fevers or our coughs, and so we would just be behind her desk while she worked as a lawyer, and that was kind of my first experience knowing that she was a lawyer. And then I remember going down to everybody's office and everybody had a nickname. We had golf ball guy and we had helmet guy, and there's a bunch of nicknames throughout the firm because that's how we associated them.
I met Alicia because her daughter and my son went to the same elementary school. So that's how I first met her. And then shortly thereafter, she appeared in front of me when I was on the bench. And then we became really good friends. My favorite thing about Alicia is that she is a complete and total badass. She is such a badass, and she's been a badass for her whole life.
I've known Alicia for about 37 years. I was at the law firm of Moses, Dunn, Farmer, and Tuthill in 1981. Alicia joined us in 1987, 1988, and first time I had ever met her, and she's been my partner ever since. You know, I've been asked many times what words best describe Alicia, and there's so many that do, but 3 that come instantly to my mind are competitive, compassionate, and common sense person. By that I mean, you know, she's very competitive, whether it's in the practice of law or athletics or really anything she's involved in. She competes to win and loves the thrill of competition. But, you know, combined with that, you know, she's also compassionate. You know, it's one thing to be a competitive lawyer, but it's also interesting to have that trait of compassion, and she has that. It balances out her competitiveness. And that compassion is shown not only to clients and to staff, but to opposing counsel and opposing parties. And then it's common sense. You know, you would think that a competitive person would want to win at all costs, but Alicia approaches problems and legal disputes with a common sense attitude and a common sense of resolving issues, or having to litigate them if that's what it turns out to be.
Initially, my mom being a lawyer made me not want to be a lawyer. I saw how many hours she worked, how hard it was, how busy she was, how stressed she was, but as I grew older, I really admired her and saw how amazing being a lawyer was, and especially being a lawyer in New Mexico and in Albuquerque in general. The one thing that I love about my mom as a lawyer is the integrity and ethics she brings to the profession and how she is professionally every day and to everybody she's involved with. She doesn't try to hide anything. She's to the point and straight, and so you always know where she stands.
What sets Alicia apart is, first of all, she is the consummate problem solver. I always refer my friends who own small businesses to her, and this is what they tell me, that the case is not about her. She always has her eye on the ball. She's very strategic, thoughtful, hardworking, and incredibly accessible, even though she's got so many things going on. There is nobody better than Alicia in terms of juggling a million balls.
In thinking of the legal accomplishments that Alicia has had, probably the one that stands out the most to me is that she became the first woman president of the firm. You know, the firm's been in existence for 67 plus years and had never had a female as its president. And she's been president now for 3 years and has done really a tremendous job in that role. And so I think that is what would distinguish her, at least within our firm.
When the kids were little and she was, you know, starting out at the Moses firm, she was working her tail off. She has 2 little kids, and Dennis's business is in Espanola. So he worked during the week in Espanola. So she was basically a single mom while, you know, as women and women of color have to do, working twice as hard to get half as far. And Danielle, her daughter, told me that she had gotten into this argument with her teacher at school because the teacher was married to a lawyer, and the teacher said, lawyers just work all the time, my husband never has any time. And Danielle said, I don't agree with that. My mom's a lawyer. And Danielle said, all I remember is her singing to me, dancing with me, reading to me. And Alicia was getting up, before the kids got up to work, and then after the kids went to sleep, to work. I mean, she just is phenomenal.
She's incredible because not only was she working constantly, but she was so a part of mine and my sister's life. She would not miss a sporting game. She was always the scorekeeper for my basketball team, and since we were a small school, we would travel to every end of the state, including Texaco, and she would be there, and we'd go to Cuba, and she'd be there, and she was always there to support us while being such a great professional and such a great lawyer too. And right now, being a lawyer, I don't know how she did it, and it's incredible to see and kind of look back on and reflect on, and it's amazing.
She also helps mentor young women in the commercial real estate world. So she is very involved, and she all knows that she's obviously an attorney with the Moses Law Firm, but they also know that she's a graduate of the University of New Mexico. So she is a great example, not only within the university community, but also outside of the university community.
My mom is also so much more than just a lawyer, and she loves sports. She absolutely loves sports. And it's actually funny, my mom and my dad's first date was to play racquetball against each other.
Dennis and Alicia were introduced to each other by his best friend and her brother.
And my dad didn't know that she was a state champion in racquetball.
Her brother wanted them to meet, not necessarily because they were perfect for each other, but he wanted Alicia to beat Dennis in racquetball.
She kicked his ass and beat him at racquetball, and he used excuses, of course, and was like, oh, yeah, I was hurt. But
when Dennis told his best friend that he was going to ask Alicia to marry him, the best friend, he said, are you sure? Alicia's a lot.
UNM Law School is such a special place. It's deep in our family's hearts and in our blood, and it's so special to us. And this award means so much, not only because of it shows how great of a lawyer my mom is, but because of all the work that she's done to help the law school and Albuquerque community, and it's just so special.
Alicia really is a role model for me. I am continually amazed at what she does day in and day out, and she really is what we want New Mexico lawyers to be.
I've been asked, why should Alicia be deserving of this award? And I think the answer is obvious to me, and that is she is the epitome of a law firm leader. She values her success not in what she has accomplished, but what is accomplished with her colleagues, her fellow attorneys, staff, clients. Her success has seen them succeed. And I think that's truly a mark of a real leader in a law firm setting as president. And she certainly has exuded those qualities and has shown that she relishes their successes more than her own.
Alicia, thank you so much for asking me to speak on your behalf. I'm really honored to do so. You are a role model to me and so deserving of this award.
Alicia, you deserve this award. I've been honored to be your partner for these many years and your friend. This is well deserving, and I hope you enjoy it.
Mom, I'm so proud of you. This is such a cool accomplishment, not only for you, but everybody at your firm. You're just like the whole family. We're all so proud of you, and we were so excited to hear when you first told us, and you really deserve it, and we love you, and we're so proud.